All right, I see the numbers, the fluid dynamics, the pure physics behind it all.
And I just see one thing: how to be faster than everyone else on the water. Today, we're smashing those two worlds together. We're going to decode the architecture of victory using the legendary North Sails tuning guide as our blueprint.
Yeah, forget the theory for a second. We're talking about what makes a boat literally fly. Let's get into it.
You know, people always ask, what kind of sail do you use? It's the wrong question. Forget the brand, forget the sailcloth. The secret to winning isn't something you can buy off a shelf. The race is won and lost right here, in 5 numbers that you can't even see. This is the secret code. This is how you manipulate the entire 3-dimensional engine of the boat in real time. This is it.
Okay, so what is this code? Well, the North Sails analysis boils it down perfectly to 5 core keys to ultimate speed. We're talking camber, draft, entry, exit, and twist. But here's the crucial part. You can't think of these as separate dials you just set and forget. They're all part of one single flowing equation for speed. Let's unlock them.
First things first, before you can steer or finesse anything, you need power, raw, unadulterated horsepower. So we're starting this breakdown in the engine room.
So the foundation of that engine is a parameter called camber. Now, in engineering terms, it's simply the maximum depth of the sail expressed as a percentage of its width, what we call the chord length. But let's make it simpler. Think of it as the belly or the gut of the sail. It's all about how deep it is.
Exactly. And for me, on the water, that's the gas pedal. It is that simple. If I need a burst of power, I pump more depth into the sail, more camber, and I can literally feel the boat load up and just strain to leap forward. But when I'm overpowered or the wind is light, I ease off, flatten it out, and make the whole thing slippery to cut down the drag. It's my direct line to raw horsepower.
Okay, so we have the how deep, which is camber. But now let's add the where. Because it's not enough to just have a deep sail. The crucial question is, where is that deepest point located? We call that the draft. Is it pushed forward, right up against the mast, or is it slid farther back?
Oh man, this is everything. The difference in feel is just night and day. When I pull that draft forward, the boat gets this gritty, low-end torque. It feels like it can just claw its way over waves, really digging in. But then, on flat water, you let that draft slide back and, whoa, it's like hitting the nitrous in a dragster. The whole rig just locks in, gets super stable, and you just launch. Pure, unadulterated, straight-line speed.
So we've built our engine with camber, and we've positioned the power with draft. Now, how do we make sure all that energy actually connects with the wind cleanly? We have to talk about the leading edge of the sail, the attack vector.
So this is the entry. Aerodynamically, it's the angle of the very front of the sail as it meets the wind. You get this angle right, and the air flows smoothly, attaching itself to both sides of the sail. And that smooth, attached flow, well, that's the magic behind generating lift.
Yeah, forget the word angle. Out there, I don't think in degrees. I think about how the sail bites the wind. When the entry is perfect, it's silent. It feels like a razor-sharp surgical cut through the air, and the boat just surges. But get it wrong, even by a hair, the flow just rips off the sail. It gets turbulent, messy, and trust me, it's not just slowing down. It feels like you just slammed on the brakes. The whole boat shudders.
And that's the perfect setup for the other half of this equation. Because if the entry is all about how the air arrives at the party, the exit is all about how it leaves. This is the angle of the trailing edge, and it's absolutely critical for minimizing drag. You got it. This is the fine-tuning. This is where we make sure every last bit of power we generated up front gets turned into forward motion, with no messy, turbulent air clinging on and holding us back. You know, a clean exit feels silent. It's like a perfect arrow release from a bowstring. No wobble, no drag, just pure, focused thrust.
All right, so far we've built a powerful, efficient engine, but now we come to maybe the most important, most dynamic piece of the whole puzzle: twist. This isn't just a setting, this is the boat's transmission.
So what is twist? Well, it's simply the change in the sail's angle as you go up the mast. I mean, think about it. The wind speed and direction near the water is different from what it is 20 feet up. So the sail can't just be one flat, rigid board. It has to be this constantly changing, 3-dimensional shape.
You see a number like 30 degrees. 30 degrees of twist. If you're standing on the shore, you'd think the sail is broken. You'd think something's gone horribly wrong. But when a 25-knot gust smacks you out on the race course, that is not a mistake. That is a tactical weapon.
Twist
is the gearbox of my boat, period. That 30 degrees means the very top of my sail is opening up. It's literally spilling wind to depower the rig so we don't get flattened. But at the exact same time, the bottom of the sail is still biting, fully engaged and driving the boat forward. It's exactly like downshifting a race car to manage power. It's what keeps you right on that razor's edge of control, turning a potential wipeout into pure acceleration.
And that brings us to the most important point of all, the synthesis. Because none of these 5 keys we've talked about works alone. They are all constantly interacting as part of a single living, breathing system.
So let's run it down one more time. Camber,
That's your raw horsepower.
draft,
That's where you aim the horsepower.
entry and exit,
That's making it clean and efficient, no wasted energy.
and twist.
That's the gearbox. That's what lets you control it all second by second.
So what's the ultimate takeaway here? It's that winning at this level has absolutely nothing to do with just having a fast sail. It's about the constant, relentless, precise measurement and adjustment of this organic wing. You're not just sailing, you're actively solving this complex physics equation where the only variable that matters is victory.
Right. So at the end of the day, the sail isn't a static thing. It's a process. It's a living, breathing wing. The person who wins isn't the one who finds one perfect shape and just locks it in. The winner is the one who never stops asking the real question. What is the perfect shape for right now? For this gust of wind, for this single wave, for this one moment in time, and then has the skill to create it, instantly. That is the architecture of speed.